everybody. Part 3. Well, okay, so I thought about this, trying to explain it, so I'm just going to kind of explain it how I understand it. So whenever I'm doing anything, I think about what exists, what maybe my intentional causation, reflection, vibration can release or create, and then I go about engineering and mapping it, kind of a thing. And sometimes it may take me months. One time I was doing a earth acupuncture thing, and I really kind of had to get down to bare bones and details, and that what the cause and effect could be. Also, I want to talk about the will. There is the higher will, divine will, and the lower will. The higher will is the ego being expressed, the I, which is not always a good thing, but that's what we're here for karmically. The lower will is kind of our insecurity. It's the place of guilt and shame that we are dealing with. And divine will doesn't come from something else. It comes from me choosing to carry out the divine will. And the more that I open myself up to it, the more it grows. So the divine will would be me allowing instruction or shifting or change, and then maybe engineering or creating something that is same or like. And that would be God's will in the divine vessel and or the living body here. So that's kind of the way that I look at it. So anything that I do, I really try to look at all sides of it, and then I decide, then through a mapping process, gathering process, sometimes research process, a feeling, process, then I start to create whatever it is I'm going to create. Like I created a co-op, a social experiment, and it failed. I mean, at least on my end it failed. It failed greatly. And so the different things that I go out and do, and my intention when I'm dealing with people and helping them to heal, arrest disease, a lot of the other things that I do, I also kind of use these mapping processes. So sometimes I'll have stuff on what I call my back burner, and sometimes I know that I don't have enough details in order to engineer it, create it, move it forward, intentionalize it, causality of it, causation, a webbing. So one of the things that I get all the time, people that I've trained in writing documents, especially legal documents of their own, I have helped them to use like their right and left hemisphere and to to do this type of causation webbing without losing the content, the context, and the format. Sometimes you can go a little too far off the rails. But one of the things that happens to me all the time is I use some really powerful documentation. Let's call it vibrational, frequential, legal documents, and just who I am. I think the key is, like, who are you? You can't really create a lot of this stuff or do a lot of this stuff unless you know exactly who you are, and you have to know it from the inside out. You can't just guess, because it doesn't work, and you'll get yourself into hot water. And you start down some of these process roads, and they always say that there is a sound, there's a frequency that can kill you, and there's a frequency sound that can cure you, spontaneously cure you. And there are frequencies and sounds that could raise you to other paradigms and realities. So everything that you're using here can do all of those things, because, like the 3 parts that I've been talking about, it matters, not leaving your own emotional imprint. Number 2, using intention. What is your web what is your causality web, causation web? What are you trying to accomplish? What are you trying to create, establish? Foundation sometimes when none exists. And all of these kinds of ideas and thoughts matter. So one of the things I always get from people is that, now, your common law legal documents don't work because you haven't gotten into your Federal Reserve account. Well, fuck off, because I have gotten into my Federal Reserve account in 2018, and that's a whole other story. And the other thing too is that I realize it's not about the money, that it's about causing the change, right? Creating a vibrational change, like my teacher who had the crystal that was basically shrapnel, but it had so much power in it that when it went to its final spot as evidence, that sucker was like an atomic bomb of intentionalization and causation webbing that was going to affect radically the building it was in. It affected radically the person who took it. It affected me radically because of the story and the situation. It affected that police department radically. And these things don't work on you. So you come across them, and these kinds of things, if you're bumping up against them and you don't know what they are, could be anywhere. Could cause death, okay? Could cause you to, become enlightened. Could cause you to radically change your life and the things you're doing. Or it can make you even worse and darker. It just really depends. So when I do my documents, they're raised to, like the highest causation, the way that I've performed them, the way that they're established, what they hold, and who they're from, ultimately me. I heard somebody once say you should never send any documents in anger or ego or insecurity or, any of these negative things, but you send them as a offering of love and education for the human being and all sentient beings. So then you infuse them with another layer of light and they become these crazy vibrational things. So every time somebody signs for the certified mail, they accept they accept these documents. They accept this intention. They accept this frequency, this vibration of heightened, beyond their scope of recognition and reality. But just by the handling of them, they are weapons. They are vibrational weapons of good. I try to make mine weapons of good. The IRS sends you weapons of destruction and disaster and death sometimes. So everything can be that crystal, like I said in the story part 2. Everything can be that crystal because you're using it, because of who you are and who you know you are. Know thyself. Know thyself. Then everything that you are engaged in is a process of manifestation. And manifestation isn't just about money or some, hopped up life. It's about what kind of world do I need to, that I want to live in and engage in. And that's the premise that I use. I create the premise of freedom. I want total autonomy. I want mental freedom. I want emotional freedom. I want physical freedom. And I want spiritual freedom. And so those are the things that I vibrationally support. And that everything that comes from me, including a legal document, offers that opportunity. And just by the acceptance of it into an office or an organization or a government or the Federal Reserve and whoever else, the DMV and Social Security and all these people that I've sent these documents to, they sign and they accept it. So somebody is accepting it for the greater good and the whole of where it's been sent. So that's the trigger, is when they're accepted. Whether people understand them or not, they're going to wear on people. They're going to be like in that evidence locker, that crystal. It's just going to be transmitting an unmistakable frequency and vibration that can't be quelched. It cannot be shut down. It cannot be shredded away. It can, even if it goes out as shredded and goes into the garbage field, everything that it touch, every time it's spread, it's like a plague. It's a vibrational, frequential plague that it doesn't matter. And that's the point about it, is that it doesn't matter. I don't have an ultimate outcome. Sometimes I do. I'll put a cover letter or something else that says these are like my demands, my instructions, and then it's even worse if they don't even reply or they don't even try to fulfill my instructions. They just deny me and ignore me. That vibration will work on them, work on their family, work on their company, work on whatever that it's been sent to. Okay, that's it. That's all I wanted to say. So I think, there are people out there that can really probably grasp this, and a lot of people that just really can't even begin to grasp it. But anyway, I thought it was important enough to share.